All right, today we are jumping into GitHub Copilot and VS Code. We're going to get you all set up from the very beginning to the finish line. If you really want to squeeze every bit of power out of your AI coding assistant and you want to do it the right way, well, you're in the right place. Let's get into it.
So here's our game plan. We're going to start with the absolute basics, just getting you signed in. Then we'll cover how to hook up to an enterprise account, which I know is a big one for a lot of you. After that, we'll get into the fun stuff, juggling multiple profiles and even locking specific accounts to specific projects. And finally, we'll look at the admin settings so you're in complete control. Okay, first things first, the basic setup. Let's just get you signed in, authenticated, and ready to write some code.
So what you're going to do is look down at the bottom of your VS Code window in that status bar. See that little Copilot icon? Give that a click, and it'll pop up with a sign-in prompt. Now, if you've already got a subscription, it's smart enough to just grab that automatically. If not, no big deal. It'll get you started on the free plan.
Okay, you're signed in. Now, don't skip this next part. It is a total game changer. Open up the Copilot chat and type /init. What this does is it tells Copilot to take a good look at your project. So if you're using something specific like React, or you just have your own unique way of writing code, its suggestions are actually going to match your style. It's awesome.
But hold on, before we go any further, there is one really quick but really important privacy setting you should know about. This is especially true if you're starting out on that free plan. So out of the box, Copilot sends anonymous usage data, telemetry, back to GitHub. It's to help them make the product better. But if you're not a fan of that, you can turn it off in a snap. Just pop into your settings, find the @telemetry.telemetry level setting, and flip it to off. Easy as that. All right, let's switch gears and talk about the corporate world. What if your company uses GitHub Enterprise to manage your Copilot subscription? The setup is just a little bit different, but it's still super straightforward.
Remember that first sign-in screen? Well, instead of the standard sign-in, you're just going to choose the option that says continue with ghe.com. It'll ask for your company's instance URL and your login info, and boom, you're securely connected.
So many of us lead a double life, right? We've got our work GitHub account and our personal one for side projects. So how do you manage that in VS Code without it being a total headache of logging in and out all the time? Let's take a look.
To make the switch, you've got to sign out of your current account first. Just head over to the activity bar, that's the one with the little person icon, find the accounts menu, and hit sign out. Once you're signed out, you've got a couple of options to sign back in with your other account. You could use that status bar icon again or the accounts menu. But honestly, here's the pro tip. Just use the command palette. Type GitHub Copilot sign in. It is so much faster and you never have to take your hands off the keyboard.
Okay, now for a really cool tip that will keep your work life and your personal projects totally separate. You can actually tell VS Code which GitHub account to use for a specific workspace. That means your work account only ever touches your work projects and your personal account stays with your personal stuff. For your standard github.com accounts, you can do this right in the user interface. Just go back to that accounts menu, find your extension preferences, click on Copilot, and then you can literally pick which account should be active for that one workspace. Now, for enterprise accounts, you got to get your hands a little dirtier by editing your workspace's settings JSON file. This file is what lets you customize VS Code for just one project. All you do is add this little JSON snippet, and that tells Copilot to use your enterprise login just for this project. Sometimes you just might want to turn Copilot off. Maybe you're working on a super sensitive file, or maybe you just need to focus without any suggestions popping up. The good news is you can turn it off completely or just for the one project you're working on right now. So you really have a choice here. Think of it like a master switch that turns off all AI features everywhere in VS Code. Or you can take a more targeted approach and just flip the switch for the specific project you're in at the moment. So to disable Copilot everywhere, you're going to go to your user settings and find @chat.disable AI features. This is that master switch. It will shut down all AI features, chat, inline suggestions, everything across every single one of your projects. But for that more precise control, just open up the settings.json file inside your project's .vs code folder. Add this one line, and Copilot will be turned off for this project only, leaving it on and active everywhere else. It's perfect. And that's it. Just like that, your GitHub Copilot is set up, it's secure, and it's customized just for you and your workflow. You are ready to start building with your new AI assistant. So now that your AI partner is perfectly configured, the real fun can begin.
The only question left is what's the very first thing you're going to build together?